Hello Stampers, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back for another video tutorial. I want to start this video differently and take a minute to be grateful for our incredible crafting community, for all the love and support we have from each other, for all the paper hugs and heartfelt messages we deliver with our hobby. I encourage you to make a card today and mail it. Send it to someone who needs a paper hug. Send a card to each other. Card making is an amazing therapy, and I am beyond grateful to be a part of this fantastic community. My today's video and card bring a little sanity into my current life, as I am Ukrainian. It helps me to distract from what's happening outside and not read the news for a few hours. The stamp set I'm creating with today is an amazing alphabet set called Hip Hip Yay Alphabet. I'm a big fan of any alphabet products, be it a die set, a stamp set, as these types of sets offer amazing versatility. When you have an alphabet, you can create any sort of custom message for your handmade cards or even more. You can make larger size art with inspiring quotes, and I'm sure there's lots more you can do with it, but that's what I typically use my alphabet sets for. This particular set has caught my eye as the font is so unique. It is fun, quirky, and playful. Now, there are two ways to use this set. You can either first decide on the sentiment you want to spell using these alphas and stamp just the letters you'll need for that sentiment, or you can stamp all of the letters and stamp multiples. I like to mass produce with sets like this one, so I stamped several panels using my Misty stamping tool. I used all alphas and stamped them all at once onto several panels of white cardstock. I knew I would be creating and coloring using my Copic markers, so my stamping was done in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, which is Copic marker friendly. From here, again, you have options as to how you want to proceed. I thought about coloring each of the panels using a different color ink. For example, have one panel with all pink letters and then one panel with all yellow letters and so on. But I decided it would be smarter to actually decide on the sentiment for my card first, plan a little, and color just the letters that I needed. I wanted to have a colorful card and have a multicolor rainbow letters, so I picked 7 colors in 3 shades for each color and colored the letters in the order that they were to appear on my card. I never have enough birthday cards, so naturally I wanted to make another birthday one. I don't ever have any snarky cards in my stash, so I opted for a snarky sentiment. I'm still younger than you. And that's the beauty of using an alphabet stamp set, as you can make any sentiment you want, and I really mean any. My coloring was super simple, going from dark at the bottom of the letter to light at the top of the letter. I used RV04, RV02, and RV00 for pink colors, R24, R22, and R20 for red colors, YR07, YR04, and YR00 to color orange, Y35, Y13, and Y11 for color yellow, YG17, YG03, and YG01 for color green, BG15, BG13, and BG11 for color teal, and finally B02, B00, and B000 for color blue. Yikes, that's a lot of names and numbers. And then I repeated the coloring sequence to finish the coloring of all of the letters that I needed to spell my sentiment. There are coordinating dies available for this set, and so I used mine to cut the letters out, and I also die cut identical shapes from white fun foam. I love to add dimension to my cards, and I do that by either using foam adhesive squares, which I didn't want to do for this card, as that would mean a lot of cutting of the foam squares into smaller pieces to be able to hide them behind the letters, or by using fun foam. I used my Barely Art glue and I adhered the fun foam shapes behind the letters to be able to pop them up. Now this gives a nice solid layer of dimension to your die cut shapes, and they also go through the mail a lot better as they don't get squished. Next, I spelled out the sentiment on my work surface. By the way, I'm using a new glass mat for my crafting and I love it. I feel like it makes everything look so much brighter. This is a magnetic Craft Mat from Glass Craft Mats. It is heat resistant, meaning you can heat emboss on it or place your hot foil plates on top of it. It also wipes clean and it is scratch resistant, which is great for us messy crafters. Now I have the largest 24 by 36 inch size mat, which is perfect for my craft desk as it provides an ample crafting space. I've been looking for a great mat for a long time and I feel like this is it. In my video description, there's a link to the Glassboard Studio website where you can purchase this mat and a coupon code which will give you 20% off anything you order from Glassboard Studio website, and the code is Yana20. And by the way, they package these mats so well, they arrive without any problems, even if shipped overseas. So even if you are located outside the United States, be sure that they will be able to ship your package without any problems. Plus, they offer free shipping on orders $50 or more. That's for the United States. On their website, they currently offer shipping just to the United States and Canada. But if you reach out to their customer support, I'm sure they will be able to accommodate shipping to other parts of the world. This was shipped from USA and arrived in Ukraine before the war started, safe and sound. It was packaged very well, as you can see from my quick unboxing footage. Now back to the card. I played a little bit with the letter placement and used the grid of my glass mat to get the placement and spacing just right. Now it's not exactly just right because as you can see, it's a little bit wonky, and lately that's what I've been doing for my cards. I kind of no longer want to have things straight. I want my letters wonky and skewed, as I don't know, that just seems more fun and more playful. Next, I went to the kitchen and I got my press and seal. I finally managed to order several rolls. My mom loves it for the kitchen and I love it for my craft room. I used a piece and placed it over the sentiment to help me secure it in place and transfer the sentiment safely onto my card. I flipped the letters to the other side using my piece of press and seal and added glue to each of the letters. Then I carefully picked the press and seal up and transferred my sentiment onto my white cardstock panel. And I can't believe how easy this was. And I also cannot believe my stupidity for not getting the press and seal sooner. It would have made my card making life and probably my kitchen life so much better. So don't be like me. I did place my sentiment slightly toward the top of my panel, leaving room at the bottom as I planned to stamp a sub-sentiment. I trimmed the panel down a little bit, just 1/8 of an inch off. Next, I used a sentiment from the Little Birthday Notes stamp set, and I stamped it in black ink under my main message, and that reads, "Cue the confetti." This is where these itty-bitty sentiment sets come into play. There are so many different little messages that you can use and add under a large sentiment on a card like this. I used several panels of scrap cardstock. I adhered them together and used that to pop the main panel up a little bit on my card base. This alphabet stamp set also has a few extra images to add character to each letter, and there are dies to cut them out as well, even the tiniest little pieces. And I did color and cut out a few and use them to spice up my sentiment. I love how much character they added to these letters. And that finished my card. I hope you feel inspired to create and will give this idea a try. Have fun crafting. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.